lose the stream for a second? Oh, weird. Sorry, guys. You guys probably just can hear me now. This new stream thing is bizarre. I hate the new studio. So what's up, everybody? You probably couldn't hear me at all because apparently I have to hit stream twice in the new studio. What's up, everybody? There was an actual intro here. Nobody got to hear it because I had to hit stream twice in here. But yeah, what's up? Star Wars Galactic, Jennifer Blanchett, Arachnido Comics. What is up? So first of all, before we dive in, who loved this episode? Because there seems to be a lot of, again, diverging opinions on the quality of said episode. And I'm just like, I don't know, I had a great time. Hey, what's up, Dale? Oh yeah, Stuart. Yo. I need to work on that Rise of Skywalker cut that I'm doing in attempt to get rid of the kiss scene. That'd be pretty fun to see if that works. Also, super pumped about the election results in America for those fellow Americans. Sorry if you disagree with me politically, but it just feels like an awesome victory to me. Yeah. Hey, do you guys want to hear the music a little bit more? Is that a good level? It's hard to tell all the time because I have really nice speakers in here. Yova, what's up? I don't know if I've seen you in a while in a stream, but also I don't stream as often. Bombad, what's up? Things are going great. Asking how I'm doing. Yeah, things are great. Channel's fun. Still doing it. Hanging out with the kids is bananas recently. Just, the whole COVID stuff is still tough, but overall good. Hanging out, watching The Mandalorian. Just seeing generally people really pleased at it, but surprisingly a couple negative reactions to the season so far. So, alright, so you guys can't hear the music. That's probably because the song ended. But it's also a silent song. Here we go. This one's kind of a chill song. Let's get this music going. There we go. I think that should be okay. So yeah, let's dive into this episode, right? So show of hands. Were people like pretty pumped on this creature feature aspect of The Mandalorian? I feel like this is one of the episodes that I really needed as a dude that, like, the main obsession with Star Wars is the aesthetic. So to me, this was like, I don't want to say perfect. I don't want to say a perfect episode because nothing's perfect, but I want to say, like, this one had everything that I really like about Star Wars, and, like, I love horror movies, so the whole spider vibe was awesome. Yeah, DB Skywalker says in the chat, Baby Yoda is the greatest of all time. Yes. This episode was hilarious also, like, super funny. So was the first one, but yeah, Baby Yoda just eating those eggs every time when he's like, that was hilarious to me. And the fact Din had to, like, deal with his kid, right? He's like, come on, kid, don't eat that. No. Nap time. That destroyed me. That was so funny. Yeah, so Star Wars Galactic. You say, I personally loved the X-Wing chase and Dave Filoni cameo. Yeah, that was great. One of the good things about this episode, and I'm surprised, maybe I haven't heard a lot about this in my sphere of Star Wars talk and stuff, on Twitter or whatever, but what I really liked about this is that it connected back to episode 6. And, a lot of people were like, oh, these episodes are filler, which I think is a stupid kind of term. Like, to just call it filler, sure, it fills the void of getting to the main plot, but there are fun. A side quest episode thing is fun. I just don't get the worry of it not playing into the overall main deep plot. I think it's fine. But yeah, I love that they harkened back to, like, the first season and the X-Wing. Also, the X-Wings looked amazing in this. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the quality of the CGI as they're flying through the atmosphere looked literally as good as the movie. Last season, I don't know if I would say that. They had a more traditional 70s aesthetic. This looked like The Force Awakens, kind of. So yeah, I like that they showed Dave Filoni. And it's hilarious that he's like a Star Wars character now. What's his name again? Like, it's something. Is it something Wolf? I feel like Stuart would know this. Shadow 19. Yeah, you were saying. No, I'm. Yeah. So Shadow 19 says people are acting really scared of spiders. Am I the only one not afraid of spiders, real or fake? Yeah, I'm not afraid of any bugs. Wolf, that's his name. To answer my question from earlier, the name of this character is Trapper Wolf, which is perfect for Dave Filoni. There's the X-Wings going by now. That's cool. So, yeah, let me circle back to your question, Shadow 19. I'm not afraid of bugs. But what I liked about it is just, we got to see some old school art come to life from Ralph McQuarrie. Like, this is a literal one-to-one from his painting of, like, the Dagobah creature. A lot of people are calling this, I can't remember the name. Is it Krynock? Or some sort of, I can't remember the name. But I just like that stuff. I want more weird stuff in Star Wars, and this was awesome. I mean, who knows? Imagine if we end up traveling to Mustafar some season, and then we finally meet the Oracle, like beyond the comics and stuff. I think that'd be pretty awesome, right? And a lot of people were like, yeah, this reminds me of Harry Potter. I agree. It did remind me of Harry Potter. Is it Chamber of Secrets? Is that when Hagrid's like, if you need to get the answers, all you got to do is follow the spiders. That's like, it's vaguely what I remember. So yeah, it definitely had a bit of that going on. Yeah, Shadow 19 says, I love the McQuarrie art. It's a great callback. Agreed. Like, a ton of people too are, I mean, a lot of people really, that I talked to at least, really just dug the creature featureness of this. And that alien bug guy, what would they call him? Mr. Mandibles or Dr. Mandible? That was hilarious. Was he, I can't remember right now, maybe this is blasphemy. Was that a character from the original Cantina scene? I just can't picture it right now. Is your name Azilla75? I think that's what I have terrible eyesight, but you say hello there, and I say General Kenobi. Nice to see you in the chat. Nice to see everybody in the chat. What a nice day. It's like 70 degrees where I live in Massachusetts. Biden just won the presidency. Not really one to get super political, but it's just stress relieving to know that the whole thing's just done. So yeah, I feel good right now. I also have a lot of coffee going through my veins, so that also helps. Oh, Shadow 19, he was there, huh? So Doc also in chapter 5 in the cantina. Funny. Maybe it's just one of those things, like he was so present in this episode for the passenger that like it finally sunk into my brain as a memory. So yeah. General Kenobi. I wish I could talk like Grievous. Imagine just like calling people and doing the Grievous voice just for kicks. That'd be cool. You know what's weird? Sorry guys, I'm gonna sidetrack for a second. My stream still keeps saying excellent connection, and then it keeps like pausing. I don't know what's happening, but yeah. I feel like this new YouTube studio thing stinks. I hate it. Oh, thanks, Molly Thomas. Don't worry about. So Molly Thomas says, "Wish you could hang. Everybody have fun. Have a good weekend. Smash the like button. You don't have to smash it if you don't want to. And whoever's hate watching this, feel free to dislike. That'd be sweet. Just kidding. I mean, you could do whatever you want. But nice dropping by, Molly Thomas. I'll see you next stream, I guess. So." Oh, did anybody also think that this passenger episode reminded you of Arachnophobia? Like a lot, like that's a movie that freaked me out as a kid, but not anymore. So I got those vibes too. Let me answer another question here. Bombad Kwai Gongan. What a name. I love your name. Bombad Qui-Gungan. That's amazing. You're my best friend now. What did you think of the cute frog passenger? Honestly, so as I said earlier, I'm a big fan of puppets and stuff like that. Less CGI, more puppets. It's supposed to be kind of charming and kind of campy, and I think they nailed that with the frog creature. And I love the voice, the way that people are like, or the way this season is diving into like humanizing things in actually doing alien languages instead of like, you know, the sequels and stuff like that just had like English or basic as the language. I just loved all of it. I thought it was cool. When she goes to like the hot spring, I thought that was hilarious. And also when she had to take charge and be like, Mando, listen up, buddy, shape up. You're supposed to be a cool Mandalorian guy that has honor and integrity, and all I see is a dude that gave up. I kind of like that. She was like sassy and smart enough to reprogram the vocabulary in Zero. So yeah, really cool character. I love that it was practical. At least it seems like that for the most part. And if you guys know me, I love I think they're called Lineans or something like that. The caretakers from The Last Jedi. I thought those were great aliens, really cool looking. So it kind of reminded me of that, and I liked it. Yeah. That answers your question. Lady Frog is cool. Yes, Yova, agreed. Dale, no worries. You got to go help a neighbor. You do that. It's always a good time to help somebody, right? Did anybody, you know what I think would have been cool? It seems like some elements of the big mama spider were practical, but I would have loved to see them actually make that thing fully practical. It would have probably cost $1 billion, but yeah. But like, I just love the weird eyes moving. Like, I'm a big fan of the movie The Thing. Not the 2011 one. It's okay. But the first one from like, what, 1982? Like, that kind of stuff is awesome. Yeah, so Elijah Anil says earlier, the world building is great. Yeah, 100%. As I said earlier, a lot of people are like, oh, this is just filler. And here's why I don't think... I'm just going to explain why I don't think this episode is filler. Having a simple plot from start to finish doesn't mean worthless episode, right? So what is the main goal of this season? The trailer says that it's the quest of finding Mandalorians and the people of the child, and that's what he has to do. So, like, we're just following him on his literal journey from A to Z, and what happens along the way is interesting. Saying that this episode didn't push him forward through the plot is kind of nonsense. If you said this is just very simple, and he only got like 2 steps ahead, yeah, I agree with that. He kind of only got a little bit closer. I kind of figured this episode was going to be the Waterworld one. I was completely wrong with my predictions. But yeah, that's part of the fun too. I was surprised. So Bombad Qui-Gungan says, this is my theory, and it's that I think next episode we're going to see Bo-Katan because the frog said there was a Coburn there. Probably. That could be cool. I mean, if Bo-Katan is truly, honestly, really in this season, which I think would be amazing, she could be part of that. It's tough to say because I'm wrong about everything that I theorize, which is awesome, like I said. But I'd welcome it. I just have no idea what's going on. However, I do now think that because I was wrong about my previous speculation videos, I actually think that lady on the boat in the hood isn't Sabine anymore, but probably an acolyte of the Beyond. That's what I think based on just the aesthetic. I watched a couple videos talking about this too, and I think it's a pretty sound theory. Also, you might hear me sipping some coffee. I apologize for the mouth sounds, unless that's cool with you. Maybe it's like ASMR. I don't know. Elijah Neal says, yeah, I think the next episode will be a big one. Yeah, I hope so. I really greatly enjoyed the 45 minutes to be honest, but the 52-minute episode, the first opener of season 2. I love that length. If it's weekly, I kind of prefer an hour. Like 30 minutes is great, but yeah, I really like an hour. I've recently been watching His Dark Materials on HBO. I just finished that season 1. Highly recommend it. It's not Star Warsy, but it's fantasy and it's awesome. And I love that trilogy, that book that came out in 1995. There's 3 of them. Really cool books. Check it out. Maybe I'll start a channel called His Dark Materials Chat. Commander Cody, so Commander Cody asks, are the Acolytes of the Beyond followers of Vader or something? Well, I'll put it this way, they're just like loyalists to the Sith. At least that's what I kind of figure. I'm just reading Aftermath now because I literally fell in love with Cobb Vanth. So now I'm like rereading it, getting into it. It isn't bad on Audible, actually. I can finally like palate the story so far, and I actually like it. I just couldn't read the book. It just seemed boring. Maybe I just didn't want to read. I don't know. I'm an old man. Just kidding. I'm not that old, maybe. But pretty much what I do know is like they get like they wanted to get Darth Vader's lightsaber back to Vader. From like, I could be dead wrong. Somebody can correct me. But I'm pretty sure they were trying to get it back to him to like unite him with his saber for in the afterlife or whatever the heck they want to call it. And it's speculated that maybe what needs to get shuffled from one place to another could be like Vader's saber. Like maybe there's like some sort of like thing that happens along those lines, or like something on that boat being ferried from one place to another could be the saber of Vader, which would be bananas. But yeah, it's just hard to say. It's a cool theory, makes me really excited, but as I said, everybody's theories have been pretty much wrong for this. So hey, Elijah Neal, don't worry, go eat some lunch, take your vitamins, get hydrated, take a run. Yeah, do what you gotta do. This is just a Star Wars stream. If you guys have like real life things going on, don't stop your real life to listen to me babble. Oh, nice, thanks. I'm glad that I was correct. Thanks, guys. Oh yeah, you did it on Audible too? Nice. I recommend Audible. It's really easy to get into, and everything feels like an audio drama. So yeah, I really highly suggest it. Jake Johnson says, I bet the Mandalorian that they find is Sabine. Yeah, Jake Johnson, I think it's sort of that makes the most logical sense to me. Like whoever he's gonna meet, if Ahsoka's involved, I just feel like initially it's gotta be Sabine and then Ahsoka. So yeah, I'm with you, Jake. I just want to go back to Star Wars Galactus said, His Dark Materials is amazing. Can't wait to see the newest series start tomorrow. Yeah, that's why I literally caught up so fast, because I was like, oh, season 2's coming out? I gotta finish this. Because I watched episode 1 like a year ago, whenever it came out. So I'm super happy. As I said, everybody should watch His Dark Materials. And Star Wars Galactic also asked, what do you think of the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special? I have yet to watch it. I haven't even seen a trailer because of how much election stuff I've been watching and just Mandalorian stuff I've been doing. Truly haven't really kept my finger on the pulse of fandom really lately. It's been really tough. There's a lot of like new stuff coming out at once, and since I can't do daily Star Warsing on the channel, it's just hard to keep up with everything right now. But what I'm gonna be doing is watching it. That's about it. So once I do, I can tell you what I think. and not to dog on any groups or whatever, but I saw, you know, certain groups of people being pissed about little Benny boy. And you know me, I love Ben Solo, Kylo Ren. He's my boy. I think he was the coolest part of the sequel trilogy. Again, I don't care if you hate those movies or like them. I like them for what they are, you know. It's just whatever. And but the whole like, let's bring Ben back and let's like, don't treat him dishonorably in this animation. Don't treat him blah 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 blah. Now I'm turning into Akbar. But just shut up. That's all I'm saying. If somebody like, I don't know why, it's like a adult just crying about nonsense like, oh, I spilt my milk. Like, I don't know. It just seems so petty. So, yeah, as a big Ben Solo fan and stan, get over the fact that he's dead. He ain't coming back. All we can do is mine his past and hopefully tell a cool story, maybe in live action, or I don't know. So, but yeah, shut up about him coming back. He's not. Adam Driver is the man. He's not coming back. He's doing bigger and better things. This is just one other thing. John Schnee. Glad I actually caught the stream for once. Yeah, you caught it at a good time with me telling somebody to shut up. That's hilarious. Not anybody in particular. Just, you know. People just need to chill. Oh, wait. What did you translate? Maldo Kreis? Interesting. Adam Driver's the man, June Schnee. Is it Jun? So yeah, Adam Driver is insanely talented. That's what you said. And, yes, I have. The only thing I haven't watched of Adam Driver's is Girls. I'm not interested. I put on one episode and I was like, this isn't for me. I don't think it's bad. But I've watched everything. The Midnight Special, The Report, Marriage Story, tons of stuff with him. He's a quirky, weird, charismatic actor. That's highly relatable and likable. I don't know what it is. And I think it's just I think it might be because he's slightly uncomfortable all the time as a real person. So it just makes him more endearing. I don't know. It's pretty cool. Oh, interesting. So that's the place where they got, yeah, okay. Wow. I'll circle back to that. Sorry, guys. I'm like, if you're listening it in, nothing just made sense of what I just said. So anyways, interesting that this is the same ice planet from episode 1, apparently. Had no idea. From episode 1 of season 1, Mandalorian. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so Arachnito Comics says, I like that Dave Filoni is the pilot, like this cop guy that occasionally shows up. Yeah, and speaking to that, I thought it was hilarious that it was kind of like being pulled over by a cop. You know, I've been pulled over so many times, not for anything bad, but just like, it's just what happens throughout your life. You can get pulled over. And it's always awkward. It's super awkward. Like, you know, I mean, it's a weird thing to talk about in today's climate because there are people that get pulled over and it's just a tragic result because of, you know, let's be honest, there's a lot of racism in America. But, you know, I don't experience that, so I guess you could say it's my privilege. But yeah, you're always like awkward. You're more polite sometimes, or like, my hands always go to 10 and 2. And it just reminded me of the Mando being like, may the force be with you, sir. And whatever. Like when he said that, I laughed. I was like, dude, he's so uncomfortable, like being pulled over. And I also thought it was hilarious when they asked him about the Republic prison correction facility thing, and instead of even responding, he just banks. He's just like just literally flies away like a menace. It was so funny. And I guess some people felt the whole thing was like a little bit oddly paced or something, but no, I thought it was great. I thought it was cool. I thought that whole chase was one of the most exhilarating things I've seen in a long time. And I as I said on Twitter, call me simple and call me easily entertained, but it was fantastic. Yeah, Stephen Clubine. Man, everybody has unique names. Yeah, you laughed so hard too at that when he was like, "May the Force be with you." I think, like he just learned about the Force and Jedi, so he's just like learning the regular colloquialisms of Tatooine. Because even Pelimata was like, "Thank the Force," which was awesome. Like, we're slowly introducing the Force as a regular occurring thing in The Mandalorian, which, you know, was inevitable, especially with concerning the baby. Did anybody notice that the baby used the Force to pull the eggs towards himself while before he actually ate the eggs? Like, you could hear him like doing a Force thing, and then the egg started gravitating towards his hand. I thought that was a nice little like detail. So I don't even know how to pronounce your name. I'm gonna call you S55. What do you think will happen with the child? So I have an overarching theory for this season, or at least how I would imagine the progression of Din and everything to go. I like have this weird feeling that the child is officially going to be taken by the end of this season. Also, sorry if you guys hear like saw noises outside, because my neighbor just decided to start fixing a table or something outside. So I think he's gonna get taken. I think it's gonna be the result of some sort of like, it's either this or that kind of scenario. And unfortunately, like Baby Yoda's gonna be caught up in it. And I firmly believe that Mr. Darksaber himself, Moff Gideon, will reign victorious at the end of this season. Lord Vader, welcome to the chat. You are greatly appreciated. May the Sith be with you. I am all the Sith. Yova Rods with Ahsoka will meet with Mando and have Baby Yoda in her arms. That would be incredible. Like, you think all is lost, and then finally, like, imagine if that was the end of the season. It just ends with Ahsoka's reveal of bringing back Baby Yoda, and then that's it. That would be bananas. I think that would be really cool. Yova, what a cool idea you just had there. If you had a channel, I would say make a video on that. That's really cool. Just don't Mike Zero it, you know? Just kidding. Just in case he's listening. He's not. Bombad Qui-Gungan. So, what episode do I think Boba's gonna be in? Well, if the next one's on the Waterworld, which I think it is, I'm gonna guess episode 5. Because I can't imagine that Mando Daddy is gonna be off Waterworld by the end of episode 3. Because the previous 2 episodes were in one location primarily. You know, except for like the ice planet at the end. But I don't know, it's hard to say. Like, I'm just guessing based off of nothing. But I hope it isn't like too far down the season, because it's fresh in everybody's mind, and like for them just to tease that and then not pay it off would be really strange. Yeah. So hopefully, like, at least by episode 5. I feel like if they wait till like the last 3 episodes, I don't know. Unless it's like the whole episode is about that, fine. I don't know, but I just feel like sooner is better than later. Is it true? So maybe the chat knows this. Again, I haven't had my finger on the pulse of fandom lately, but I've heard rumors of an actual Boba Fett series being put into production. However, I can't imagine too many people really being interested in that yet. I mean, because we have one Mandalorian show, and maybe I'm dead wrong. Personally, I'm a big fan of Boba Fett in The Empire Strikes Back, and I think he's a complete cartoon in Return of the Jedi, which isn't really dissimilar from like the Knights of Ren and the Rise of Skywalker and stuff like that. I just feel like, yeah, I don't know, like, I'm just not really personally really that invested in his character, to be honest. So, I don't know. Yeah, wishful thinking, rumored. one-off miniseries. Yeah, like maybe if it was like just a 4-episode thing, like the Kenobi thing is speculated to be. That'd be cool. Yeah, I guess that would be cool. Joel Davis also says rumored, but apparently a miniseries. I like the idea of I do like the idea of miniseries for Star Wars live TV, because if they're not going to be doing these anthology movies anymore, which I think is a shame. I don't like a movie got $400,000. If that's a failure, Jesus Christ. But the quality of season 2 so far of The Mandalorian makes me realize how good these miniseries are probably going to be. So saving a couple dollars in gas money, not paying $18 for a ticket, and sitting on my fat ass on my couch watching some Star Wars that's pretty high quality sounds like an awesome experience to me. Make it a 4-hour-long movie, like 4 50-minute episodes, right? Something like that. I think that'd be great. Yeah, also, it's just so funny to know that Ewan McGregor dressed in his robes and walked onto the Mandalorian set. I truly hope that he walked on set and was like, "Hello there," unless everybody fell over laughing. That'd be so funny. Shadow19 says, I never loved Boba, but I think they can make him into a serious, cool character. Shadow19 agreed. I think it's possible. I don't doubt the ability of anybody. It's more like right now, I can't see it. So. Yeah, you know what's funny? Maybe it's just time and I'm less concerned about movies. Like, people are like, this movie changed my life or something. With Star Wars, I think maybe a lot of us got caught up in like everything has to be so amazing. And I kind of felt like Rogue One wasn't good because it wasn't so amazing. And then when I did the rewatch with everybody, I actually really liked it. Like, it's a simple tale, but it's visually so good. I forgot how cool the score was. So if they keep doing things kind of in that vein, simple stories with that aesthetic and like that quality, yeah, I love the Rogue One kind of vibe on TV. That'd be cool. I mean, a lot of people are like rough on the Vader end. I still think the Vader ending of Rogue One is so good. Like, hands down, the third act of Rogue One is hands down the best third act from a Star Wars thing in the last 5 years. I can't imagine anybody contesting that and fighting over that or something. Like, I still can't make sense of the fleet battle in The Rise of Skywalker. I love the Last Jedi battles, space battles in the beginning, and like the little funny one at the end, which is more just like a metaphorical sort of thing with Luke and Kylo. They're the main battle versus the little ski speeders. But yeah. Stuart says Rogue One is fan service done right. Yeah, for the most part, I'd say so. To be honest, the only thing I realized that really bugs me about Rogue One, it comes down to kind of one thing, which is less obvious for all the other characters, but it kind of proves to me that like something got edited down that was probably really integral to character development when Tony Gilroy came in. I think he just made it a more palatable, regular-ass movie. But that's not to say that's bad. It's just like more people went to see it. Great. They succeeded. But I felt like the character of Saw Gerrera was just so pointless. And him not leaving and being like, "You must go! I can fight no longer! Jin, save yourself!" Like, A, why does he talk like that? B, why did he just kill himself? What the heck? That was the only part that I'm like, why? Like, what a cool character to utilize. And then just him just randomly just be like, screw it, guys. There's a wall of death coming at me and I can fight no longer. I don't know. That was it. That's really it. That's what it comes down to. So. Yeah, so Steven Klebine says, I want to see more full power Vader. Yeah, I do too. I want a freaking entire series about Vader. If we could take Charles Soule, get him into the live action ship, and have him just direct or somehow oversee a Vader series, he's doing great shit with the comics. You know, that's his thing. He's right. He did the High Republic first book, but man, I want him to do a Vader series. I would love them to translate the entire arc with Momin? Yeah, whatever I can't remember his name right now. Did you continue to fight? I smoked so many cigarettes. I don't know. Yeah, why does he have that voice? It's like somebody punched him in the throat every morning. Like, all right, guys, do it. Punch me. Lord Vader says, Saw Gerrera sounds like he eats concrete for breakfast. 100%. That's so funny. Well, what's funny about... So King Shark says, the best part of Rogue One was that they explained the weakest part of the Death Star. It was always so stupid for me. Well, yeah, you know what's funny? For anybody that's fans of E.C. Henry, awesome channel. I don't know how much he posts anymore, or like YouTube's weird with giving me notifications. There's like 10 channels I regularly watch for Star Wars. He's one of them. Because he just has very interesting videos. A lot of variety content, but always really cool content. But he kind of nailed it. He's like, Rogue One is almost so unnecessary because of the perfect explanation for the weak spot on the Death Star from A New Hope. Like, he just like goes through it really methodically, and it's like, yeah, he's right. But it's still cool that they pulled a 2-hour movie out of that simple explanation. Star Wars Galactic asks my thoughts on Solo. I love that we've deviated from the passenger, which is fine, because this is how it goes. I love these chats. Thoughts on Solo? Okay. I legitimately believe that Solo is like the best side Star Wars movie ever. Verging on a just perfect, like, start to finish fun ride of a Star Wars movie. I would compare it to the original movie. Like, very simple start to finish, high energy, great music, fun. Like, everybody acts well. There's hilarious moments. Like, to me, like when Beckett's like, "Oh, my thumbs," I thought that was great. I thought that was hilarious. All the actors and actresses were awesome. I love Dryden Voss. It did feel like it could have been something for live, like Disney Plus, like live action, but I just think Solo is like perfect. I don't know, and potentially it has to do with the score too. As a musician, I really loved the score for Solo. John Powell is the other John Williams. I'm telling you, he's gonna do more Star Wars. Like, dude, when the Cloud Riders come in and it's like da 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 da, I'm like, yo, this is like hardcore music in Star Wars that's cinematic. Like, it was so cool. Yeah, so that's my thoughts. I could talk about Solo all day. I have a video buried somewhere that didn't do too well, but it just talks about everything I love about Solo. It's kind of a funny video the way I edited it, but yeah, I like it. Yeah, exactly. It's a great, fun Star Wars movie. Oh, Commander Cody says, Saw breathes the way he does because he inhaled some sort of gas. Heard it somewhere. Yeah, I mean, that sounds reasonable. That makes sense. Boba Fett. Boba Fett is in the house. Hey, so, Boba Fett, can you answer me a question? Did your armor and yourself survive because, just like Din going into the Crate Dragon, your armor was impervious to the acidification of stomach acid? Maybe that's what happened? Or did you escape because that Crate Dragon ate the Sarlacc? I need to know now, Boba. But yeah, I'm really curious about if they give us all that information about how he survived. I know nothing about the EU Boba survival beyond, like, he climbed out, herp. Like, that's about all I know. I could go on Wiki and read it, but I don't want to. Might Heal was talking about the Maw from Solo. Hated how dark it was. You know what's funny? I think they fixed the contrast and color correction of Solo. Because when I did watch it maybe a month or two ago, like I actually haven't been watching as much Star Wars lately, just because I'm so busy. But I remember when I watched it, it looked sharper to me. It looked, I don't know. It could have been because it's 4K. I have a 4K TV. But it just seemed like it was fixed a bit. There's definitely a bit of a muted kind of chromatic color palette going on for the movie, which was tough to see. But that's kind of how it is. So, I don't know. Steven, you gotta go. No worries, man. You guys, when you have things come up, don't worry about it. I'll see you next time on the stream, though. We'll be doing another one next week, Steven. Hopefully same time, 1 p.m. I mean, if that's working for everybody. Is 1 p.m. a good time for all you guys? I mean, you tell me. I'm here for you. So. Boba right now, flat face. That's hilarious. Oh, Jennifer, yeah, you heard, dude. Jennifer heard the intro music to my channel and then she watched Solo. Yeah, exactly. So I love that cue. It's so metal. Like, I love hardcore music. Like I write punk rock. I write post-hardcore. I mean, I can play every genre. This is kind of how I am. I play so much music, so many instruments. It's just, I naturally gravitate towards this stuff. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, that's like super cool. And I always listen to movie scores. Like, you might laugh at this, but I love the Finding Nemo score. Thomas Newman is a genius. So, oh, it's 6:42 where you are, Stuart? Good to know. All right, well, it seems like 1 isn't too bad. 1943, nice, military hours. Oh, it's midnight where you are, Commander Cody. Wow. Holy moly, you are dedicated. I really appreciate you hanging out with us. That's wild. For anybody that's up past midnight, thank you for hanging out. I greatly appreciate your presence. So period person. I guess your name's just a period, like an actual period. What do I think, or how do I think Boba will fit back into Season 2? Frankly, I have no idea right now. I feel like there is going to be some sort of confrontation about getting his armor back. Beyond that, I don't really know. I just hope that it's a little bit brutal. I hope it's a little brutal. I like, you know, Cara Dune, I don't want to get into her political beliefs, but character-wise, I liked when they got into like that beef, but then they let up, whatever. But I feel like Boba's not going to let up. We're going to have a bit more of like Mando on Mando action, which I think is going to be cool. And I think maybe at the very least, I think Boba Fett's presence and taking back his armor is going to make Din sort of have to rethink what being a Mandalorian is to a certain degree. But I guess that's about it. I don't want to give you guys false hope about certain things. You know what I mean? I think a lot of channels do that, and then people get mad. Oh, Renato Z, you couldn't sleep before Chapter 10? Well, I couldn't sleep because I got back at like 3 a.m. from playing music. I just like stayed up after that because I'm an idiot. And then I was super tired and cranky yesterday, so... Luke Allen asks, isn't Lightspeed just going to hyperspace? Yeah. That's how I understand it, right? They go into the dimension of or like the other, whatever you call it, the other space dimension called hyperspace. And Dutastic asks, Ad, how do you feel about character resurrection in Star Wars now that Boba's returned? Well, to be frank, I didn't hate the resurrection of Palpatine or the return. I just hate the bloodline connection. I think it's silly. You know, I'm sure the younger group that all of these movies were intended for will find zero issues with that. It's only us older people that are like, it doesn't make sense. I'm gonna cry online about it. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't I didn't hate it. I loved how horror vibe, like Saturday morning cartoon, scary showish it was. And but like beyond that, I don't want people being like, and you're back, and you're back, and you're back, and this person's cameoing. Like, I made a video saying I do not want this to turn into the Mandalorian, nor do I want Star Wars and Lucasfilm to continuously mine either token fan favorites, which I would call Boba Fett that, like sort of a ironic fan favorite, because he's so derpy at the end of Return of the Jedi. You know, I really like new, but also I like consistency as well. So like, it's just kind of hard to say. I'm probably not as loose as other people with like, just do whatever you want in canon. Like I'm not exactly like that. So I do think it just needs to make sense within existing canon. And I also think, I mean, I don't know. I'm more just in line with new. June, take care. Thanks for hanging out in the stream. Really appreciate the presence. You asked some good questions earlier too. I love when I get good questions. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna butcher your name, so I'm not gonna say it, so I'm gonna call you IT. Maybe we might find out Yoda's species in the season. I really hope we don't. And the reason that is there's some things in Star Wars that I think are so interestingly bizarre and vague that I love my own imagination on that stuff versus the actual definition or definitive answer. I know some people disagree. Like some people like really like information and like knowing exactly what something means and what it is and blah blah blah. I get it. I'm totally similar with some things in Star Wars. However, with Yoda or species, what I really want is just a bunch of little Yodas bopping around being like, and they find little baby Yoda. Like that'd be hilarious. Like little Yodas on a planet, just don't let us know what they are. Seeing their planet or something like that, great. I just don't want to know that they're called like Herpidorians or like whatever, you know? Just leave it a mystery. That's cool enough for me. And the other thing too is like, depending on how the High Republic goes, maybe we do learn more about Yoda species and backstory. Who knows? Build up, what up? Welcome to the chat. That's okay, Luke. Yeah, if you didn't like Chapter 10, a lot of people didn't, and a lot of people did too. I just feel what was really bizarre about it was like the anger towards the dislike. Because like even I admittedly didn't really care for Chapter 5 last year. I was like, it's just okay. Which, you know, whatever. I don't need to have everything blow me away because I guess I just... I don't have that kind of expectation. Like if there's something story-wise I dislike, I just tend to look at, well, what is good about this? Like I could be like, the quality of the visual effects are great, this and that. So I try to just look for those things. So yeah, but no worries. If you guys don't like movies, shows, whatever, voice your opinions. Absolutely. It's more about the demanding of certain events happening and like blaming people for not getting a certain thing. That's what I don't understand. If there's something and like very unique in fandom, it's what I call the blame game, which is a term everybody's heard, but everybody blames everybody for something, and it just blows me away. Because I know most of these people probably wouldn't be talking this way in real life, and it really probably doesn't matter to them all that much. I think what really kind of fuels a lot of this stuff is a sort of social credibility. You know, you get a dopamine rush when you get a heart or a retweet. You get anxiety when you get a comment where all these people start attacking you, right? You get pumped up and everybody agrees with you. And like these sort of like hot take, real quick, non-thinking emotions sort of create all this nonsense, I think. So if you hate it, just whatever. Just don't turn into a rage beast and be like, well, they didn't do it my way. I would definitely. Well, so all right, so we're in the filler topic now. I think the idea of episodes being filler is a bit nonsensical. Because we don't know the full picture of the whole story. So you can only look back in hindsight and realize things aren't filler. And I just think it's a sad way, I think, kind of just to look at entertainment. I'm not saying anybody's wrong. I'm just saying I don't look at it that way, and I'll never live in that dimension. But if you do, by all means, totally cool. Yeah. Boba Fett asks, do you think it's because I wasn't in episode 2? To be honest, that could be part of it, because one thing that does annoy me as just a general person of watching things, I don't like cliffhangers. Literally don't like cliffhangers. I think it's a terrible storytelling technique. And I'm not saying it doesn't work. The reason I don't like it is because it's like, just wait, there's more later for you to stay on, and like you're just waiting for them to pay off on something. And that's why I've always actually been really critical of that last scene in The Force Awakens with Luke literally on a cliff. I think that's the worst thing that The Force Awakens did, frankly. And let me just explain. In my Was It Good video about the sequel trilogy, I explained that literally leaving it off in that way completely locked Rian Johnson into, like, not that I love The Last Jedi, but it did this lock the next movie into like, well, we have to know what happens next now. And I hate that. If it just ended after everybody was gazing on at the Falcon and Rey flies off into space from Dakar, and then it's that would have been great. That's all we needed. We have no idea where she's going. We have no idea what Luke is doing. Then we find out this other stuff, and I arguably think it would have been less of a blow to some people. So that's like one of the biggest criticisms I have of the sequel trilogy. It's just there was a little bit too much bait. I guess I'd put it that way. Anthony Manzano, what's up? Welcome to the stream. I'm probably gonna be going too also for like what is it, 52 minutes? Probably 20 more minutes. I don't hear any kids up yet. My children are asleep, so thank God. I'm on dad duty right now because my wife is out doing things, finding things, being a mama. So let me read one of these responses to the. So, Nth hacks, is that NT hacks? If you're gonna have cliffhangers, at least resolve them in the next episode, season, movie. I don't like what they did with Evil Morty, for example. Yeah, like kinda. Yeah. So, I agree. You know, like when I do have another video way down the line is talking about scenes I think that should have been included in the sequel trilogy, there are gonna be some comic ideas that I think should have been in The Last Jedi. Now that I've kind of thought about the big picture of everything, I'm like, damn, a lot of this information would have been much better utilized in movie format. So yeah. But anyways, Luke and everybody else, I hope that kind of answered your question. I'm not saying you're wrong for calling it filler. I just hesitate to necessarily label something as like a meaningless episode, because I've found some interesting elements in this episode that seem to be like leading towards something after this. So to me, it propels the story forward. But yes, agreed. This was an unbelievably simple, basic episode. I'll give you that. Bombad Qui Gungan. So who do you think Moff Gideon is gonna fight with? Oh, regarding the Darksaber, because of oh yeah. So who do I think Moff Gideon's gonna fight with because of all that stuff he said about his Darksaber stuff? I personally hope there's some sort of like beef with Ahsoka, something along those lines. Like I imagine she would have a lightsaber, maybe not. I don't know. I think that would be amazing, because he said he's highly skilled, right? Or it seems to be alluding to that. And I don't imagine Din would just get the Darksaber somehow, or some lightsaber, and be able to fight him. And I don't imagine the Darksaber all of a sudden, or some sort of lightsaber, going into Sabine's hands. And same thing with Bo-Katan. I like Bo-Katan and Sabine could definitely wield lightsabers, as we've seen in the Clone Wars and Rebels, but I don't know. Give that moment in that fight, if there is one, to Ahsoka. That's what I think. Yeah, George Harry. That's how I feel. So George Harry says, you don't mind Luke being a grumpy old fart. Agreed. And it made it more relatable. Absolutely. But I do understand people who are huge fans of the EU. Even though the way that my brain works, I look at the EU as this has nothing to do with George Lucas. Even though I like EU and I like a lot of those books, I still look at that as not Star Wars, to be honest. I look at it as something else, in the same way that Lucasfilm and original Lucasfilm looked at the EU. They kind of poke into it, they look at it, some things turn into canon, some things don't, and they say, don't touch this, don't play around with that, do your own thing, but ultimately it's just a side universe to the main storyline. So people who grew up with the EU, who love those stories to death, they're not wrong for being unbelievably disappointed with what happened based on their love for Luke in that in the EU. It completely makes sense to me now. At first I was like, I don't know, like, why are these people so mad? But if you've only grown up with the prequels, the original trilogy, and then the EU for like 15 years, right? I mean, it's been going on even longer. But if that's all you saw, and then all of a sudden everything that you've believed in and loved, which is still not George Lucas's vision, you see this other very 180 degree flipped version, sure, I'm sure you're gonna feel like your world is rocked, and I get it. For me, that didn't happen. I was just like, wow, this is amazing. Yeah, Luke, me neither. So I've read like 15 books from the EU. Maybe that's about it. So I got another question. Oh, Stuart, I'm probably going, where are we at now? I'm probably going for another 13 minutes. I'll probably end here like 2:10 my time. So Bombad Kwai Gungan asks, I have a tough question for you. Who is your favorite, Din, Djarin, Boba, or Jango? Ooh, God, that is a tough question. Movie-wise, I don't know. I think because of how much time we've gotten to spend with Din, I now like Din Djarin the most. I would have to say, though, like, cinematically, I just think Jango Fett is such a badass. I love that battle between him and Obi-Wan. People that shit on the prequels and, like, shit on Attack of the Clones, I'm like, you're insane. Like, sure, there's some really bad dialogue and other stuff, like there is in every other goddamn movie. But that fight is amazing. The whole first act of Attack of the Clones is unbelievable. Or maybe that's a little bit of the introduction of the second act, actually. But yeah, it's so cool. Like Jango Fett is the man, and he's just he's menacing too, right? His like demeanor, you feel uncomfortable around him. That's how I felt watching him. He seems like the kind of dad that would be like a little bit brutal too to his son. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's the vibe I got from him. I was like, this guy's just a menace. But that battle is so good. The only thing I always wonder about him, like, how did Obi-Wan's hands not get sliced off when he had that little tiny cable and fell like 70 feet? Luke Allen, I'll give you that. So TLJ did not have a lot of good humor. 100%. I will agree with you to the death on that. 100%. The only reason I gave that a pass is because I was like, if I'm going to give this a pass in other Star Wars films, I can't just all of a sudden now start being like, because there's a lot of humor in the Phantom Menace I loathe. But I actually really, really like the Phantom Menace. Well, that's an interesting topic here. I'm gonna butcher your name again, so I'm gonna call you IT again. I never understood why people had such a deep-rooted hate for the prequels. Let me try to dive into that. Being as I'm 34. I was 12 or 13 when I saw the Phantom Menace. Loved it. Watched all the movies in theaters, right? And I didn't really understand the hate until after Attack of the Clones. But basically, what happened is exactly what's happening right now. So here's what I remember from back in the day. A lot of my friends that like Star Wars, the second they saw it, and like these are kids that were reading like the X-Wing books. Like I had all these little books about X-Wing. I don't even remember what they were called. I had like the Young Jedi Academy books, all these things. And then we went to go see those and we're like, dude, what the hell is like, I was like, this is great. And they were like, well, Jar Jar was stupid. And then it turned into like, oh, George Lucas actually has lost his ability to tell a story. George Lucas made the most racist movie in America. And then they were like, wait, there isn't even a main character in this movie, which is arguably true, but also who cares? And then people were like, oh, the overuse of CGI ruined. George doesn't know how to be who he used to be. The Artur is gone. So like the fans, critics, everybody was just making fun of him essentially. And it was widespread. Forums were saturated making fun of the prequels, specifically because of how different they were from the original trilogy. People just couldn't compute that George Lucas could envision Star Wars in a much different aesthetic. The only thing I will say is I do believe people would have been less shitty towards the prequels if there were like ships that were just made with motion control, right? I think if they just kept to that aesthetic, if they tried to, like how the new movies did, I think a lot less complaining would have happened. So Anthony Manzano, I might have missed your first question. Oh, read your comment. Yeah. So you might be a normie when it comes to Star Wars. I don't use that word. I think it's a stupid, derogatory fandom term for people that honestly have such low self-esteem that they have to have something they're the best at, right? So they're the best at being a fan to make other people feel bad because they feel bad. So don't worry about normie nonsense. Nobody's a normie. People are just fans. At least that's how I look at it. So, your favorite character from Star Wars wasn't Luke or Anakin. It was Qui-Gon Jinn. Guess what? My favorite Jedi of all time was Qui-Gon Jinn until The Last Jedi. I didn't think Luke was all that cool. I thought Luke was kind of like a whiny dude in A New Hope, mildly interesting in The Empire Strikes Back, and really cool in Return of the Jedi. And then I was kind of bored by his presence at the end of The Force Awakens. I was like, okay. And I loved him in The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi made me actually look at his full story as something wildly meaningful. So while I get people disliking it, to me, like, that made Luke now my favorite Jedi of all time. But before that, it was Qui-Gon. I thought Qui-Gon was like the embodiment of like the Jedi. And Master and Apprentice, amazing book. Even the Dooku audio drama, like, you get to learn so much about Qui-Gon, and just everything we learn and know about him, even though not enough of it was in the prequels, it just made me love him. Like, I love Qui-Gon Jinn, and I hope somehow his presence is just everywhere, Force ghosty wise, like at least a voice in the Kenobi series, because that would be fantastic. That would make me get chills. Yeah, so Commander Cody says, people called TPM racist. Yeah, a lot of people called it arguably one of the most racist movies like ever made in the 90s, because of Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, Liam Neeson is epic. Agreed, Luke. Yeah, you know what's a tragedy too about the death of Qui-Gon so quickly? Like I would have preferred it in the second movie, but I get why it happened. He was just so good, I think, in The Phantom Menace that I would have preferred a bit more of like the heartstrings being pulled by getting to know him even more, and kind of making him more of a centralized figure in the prequels. But then again, like whatever. That's just like my little possible headcanon of what if this happened. So I would have loved more Qui-Gon Jinn. Oh, I'm just listening to this music now. I forgot how good this track is. It's like jamming in my room. So what's everybody's favorite Star Wars movie? Interesting question. I bet everybody has a different one. Originally, mine was probably Return of the Jedi, I'd say. I think, besides Rogue One, best third act ever. And nowadays, it's kind of just a tie between The Empire Strikes Back and TLJ, which people would be like, but how can you have them in the same place? And I'd go, because I can. And I will. Both those movies impacted me in similar but different ways for similar yet different reasons, meaning that like it just had, there was a lot more meaning in those two movies for me personally. So I really love them. Not only are they unbelievably beautiful to watch, but I just like the sort of themes that play out. A lot of people on YouTube will be like, all they do is talk about the themes and not the objectively bad things. Well, I'm not that dude. So yes, TLJ and ESB for me, originally ROTJ. Nice, we got some Attack of the Clones in here. Nice, Dan B. You liked Rogue One story? I think it's alright. I actually loved the Rogue One novelization, ironically. The movie at first, like when I first saw Rogue One, I was like, that was a perfect movie. Perfect. Best thing ever. Over time, it kind of like just got okay to me, and I was like, yeah, it's okay. But then when I finally read the novel, I thought Rogue One was fantastic. Like, that novel is great. You finally know what's going on in Jin's head, and you learn more about Saw Gerrera narratively. It's fantastic. Couldn't recommend it more, actually. For people that dislike Rogue One, read the novel. So I guess we're going to be ending the stream in a few minutes, so let's do some final questions. Anything Mandalorian related, The Passenger related, whatever you want, throw it at me. Yeah, my favorite Star Wars, the last one I watched. That's how it kind of goes to newness factor. Yeah, NTX. The cinematography of The Last Jedi is unbelievable, and I also think that has to do with the fact that Rian Johnson just makes movies. You know what I mean? He like makes films where like he's made unique stories, his own personal stories. JJ's made nothing. All he's done is Super 8, which is literally a mashup of E.T. and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy that movie, but I swear to God, the only thing he knows how to do is make you feel like you did when you were a child watching those old, like, Amblin films. That is a talent, but it's not something I want to continuously see out of a artist. Like, it's just bizarre. So, last few questions here. Connor Lucas Day asked, should Mando get a new ship to replace the Razor Crest? Absolutely not. That man will keep rebuilding that thing over and over and over again. I hope that ship never leaves the series. And what I really actually hope happens is that he just adds more craziness to it. Add more guns. I don't know. Add more wings to it. Go bananas. I love that. I love the Razor Crest. It's got the prequel aesthetic in that old in the original trilogy kind of look. So I like that. Let's see, is there one more question? Oh yeah, I did not catch the Resistance theme at the end. I'll toss that on after this just to check that out. So where did that question just went by so fast? Somebody asked if I heard the Resistance theme at the end. I did not. I did not realize that. So yeah, that's what I like rewatching this stuff for. Oh, is my wife a fan? We'll leave it on that one. She is a fan, but not like me. I'm obsessed. I have toys behind me of Star Wars. I have a Luke and a Rose Tico on top of my speakers. I have 3 helmets. I have a bunch of Artifacts toys of sequel trilogy and old original trilogy toys. I have a couple prequel trilogy Black Series, along with like 100 other ones from like the original trilogy. So she's not into it that way, but she really liked Solo. She liked the sequel trilogy. She liked Tross a lot. But I think she's seen all the movies. I think she just enjoys it, you know, like casual moviegoer, but not like us. Not like I think about Star Wars every day. So for her big thing is no, her thing is art. She loves drawing. She loves comic books. She likes doing comic art. Really talented. It's unbelievable what she can draw. And yeah, it's kind of like that's her thing. Like we did some like fun Star Wars drawings. Like I can't draw for shit, but it's crazy what she can draw. It's unbelievable. So yeah. Well, all right. Oh, Commander Cody. This will be one too, yeah. We've seen so many scenes from the trailers, so this season is getting really interesting. Yes. I'm just glad that we know nothing, so I'll leave it on this. I'm glad that we had such cagey trailers, which I think is because of the Rise of Skywalker leaking to everybody so early. And I'm so happy that we really just have no idea what's going on. And that's why I was pleasantly surprised by The Passenger. Again, you know, I really liked the episode. I thought it was going to be Ilum, but, you know, I'm glad to be wrong. I'm glad the Ice Planet was just that place from season 1. And, you know, I have no idea where it's going. The big thing I think is going to happen is, like, the child being lost. And I also firmly believe this season is introducing a Star Destroyer. I think we're finally going to see a Star Destroyer in space with Mr. Moff Gideon being the guy on the bridge. We're going to get one of those classic shots, right? We're going to see the triangle windows and the dolly in to a warlord staring out into space. I feel that coming. So that's what I think will be happening. So all right, guys, I just want to say thanks so much for hanging out. It's been like an hour in 14 minutes now, or hour and 12 minutes. I love talking about The Mandalorian. Again, I love the previous 2 episodes. I am hoping the next one will be a bit more epic and significant in scope. You know, I really want to see some more questy kind of Jedi-ish, like when are we gonna get the baby to where he needs to be kind of stuff going. Like I definitely want to see some of that happening very soon. So I hope you guys are pumped. I hope this was fun for you. I hope the music was relaxing. And I'll see you guys next time at 1 p.m. most likely next Saturday, as long as nothing insane happens. And expect another review out Friday if I can get another one done. I was so happy to get one done very early Friday morning. And yeah, I'm just having a blast that something Star Wars related is super, super awesome and pumping me up. Like I said last stream, I was a little bit defeated after The Rise of Skywalker. Even though I like it as a self-contained film, it just left me, I don't want to say like empty because that's so dramatic, but it just left me a little bit left me feeling like unresolved, for lack of a better word. So this makes me feel resolved. I just like it. It makes me happy, and I'm pumped. So I will see you next time. Again, I hope the stream was super fun. Thanks for hanging out, and this is the way.